Good morning, everybody. If you're jumping on, I'm going to get started in about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to start right at 9:30 this morning. So if you're jumping on, I appreciate your patience. We'll get started, like I said, right at 9:30 Central Time. So just bear with me. Going to give a few minutes for people to jump on. Again, if you're just jumping on, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get started with the show itself in about I'll give it about 3 or 4 minutes. Just wanted to give a chance for people to jump on before we officially get started. It is just going to be me today, so if you're on the stream, um, help me out today. just pipe in with any kind of comments or thoughts, suggestions that you have. Like I said, we're going to get rolling in about 3 minutes. I'm going to start right at 9:30 this morning. So appreciate you joining me. Just hang tight for a few minutes, and we'll get started shortly. Hey, Brian. Good morning. How you doing, man? Like I said, we're going to get started here in about, I'll give it about 2 more minutes. I want to get started right at 9:30 this morning. Um, it is just going to be me today. It's going to be a solo show. Um, really not going to talk about a whole lot. Just want to do our T-shirt giveaway later in the show. Uh, talk about like I said, just talk about a couple quick things. I did not watch any of Raw last night, so I won't be talking about that at all. Um, at least not last night's episode in of itself. But again, if you're just jumping on, thanks for joining me this morning. We're gonna get started with the show in about 2 minutes. Like I mentioned, this will be a solo show this morning, so I have no idea how long this is gonna last. But I'm gonna get started, and I'll give it another minute or two. Like I said, I want to get started right at 9:30 this morning. So since this is a solo show, like I said, I'm gonna need a lot of help from you guys, the audience, as far as chiming in with any of your thoughts or comments. So, like I said, we're gonna get started in about another minute. We got a few more people jumping on. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna get started in about another minute. It's going to be a solo show this morning. Just going to talk about a couple things. Going to do a T-shirt drawing giveaway. I'll go through that. So I have no idea how long this show is going to last. It might be an hour. It might be 20 minutes. I don't really know. But if you're just tuning in, again, thanks for hanging with me. I just wanted to give a chance for people to jump on, but I'm going to get started right at 9:30 Central Time. So about another, I'd say 30 seconds or so. All right. Hey, Brandon, how's it going, man? We're going to get started. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is shortly after 9:30 Central Time. It is a special edition of the Going Broadway podcast. I am Alex, and I am flying solo this morning. Cole is not here. T.O. is not here. It was supposed to be a special guest show this morning. We're going to have to reschedule that due to extenuating circumstances, but I'm here, so you've got me. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me today. I'm going to talk about just a couple of things as far as wrestling goes. Since this is a solo show, again, I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know if it's going to be an hour show, if it's going to be a 20-minute show. But I promise at the end of the show, we're going to do our T-shirt giveaway. I've got everything set up as far as our randomizer drawing. I've got the camera set up ready to show you guys this time around that that it's not, a fixed drawing or anything like that. So, yeah, let's just get started. All right, so like I said, this is going to be a solo show this morning, so that's where you guys, the audience, I'm going to need your guys' help as far as chiming in with any kind of comments or thoughts or suggestions that you guys have. Hey, John, good morning. How are you guys doing? So I wanted to say a couple quick things about, so a lot of you guys, or I should say most of you guys, are probably on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. It seems like there's so much negativity out there right now in the world of fandom as far as wrestling goes, because you've got guys that are pro AEW, you've got guys that are pro WWE, you've got guys that are anti WWE, whatever. The point I'm getting to is and this is kind of, I guess, my state of the business address, for lack of a better way of putting it. If you like a brand of wrestling, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. If you like a certain brand of wrestling or a certain kind of wrestling, whether some people like CZW, some people like old school NWA, some people like it all, some people don't like any of it anymore and, used to. You don't have to explain why. You don't have to explain your reasons why you don't like a certain promotion or why you do like a certain promotion. What you like is what you like, and that's fine. And that goes, obviously, for more than just wrestling. I just see so much hate going on in the groups nowadays with, if you like AEW but you don't like WWE, well, people say you're just bound to be disappointed because it's going to turn out like WCW did. If that's the case, then whatever. I personally wish to see any and every wrestling company succeed, from the big guys to the small guys. And by the way, thanks to a couple of guys that have actually reached out to me personally, that have offered some local indie promotions actually offered to have some of their talent on as guests. So I appreciate that, and I'm going to definitely consider that, because I shouldn't say anybody. Most people that are in the most of the big guys out there now, as far as big names, big personalities, the guys that are in WWE and AEW and such, they got their start in the indies. Most guys started out that way. And I get that it's important from the standpoint of giving those guys the rub, so to speak, in terms of, having them on shows like this, having them make media appearances to promote their local shows. Again, people got to start somewhere. This podcast started out at nothing, and just within a month and a half's time, you guys have grown this to almost 800 likes at this point. So again, I sound like a broken record. I sincerely appreciate that, and I know I'm getting off topic, but hey, William, how's it going, man? I am going to read comments too. Again, since this is a solo show, I'm going to do my best to read as many comments as possible. Brian says, me personally, I'm not a fan of today's stuff. My brand is territory stuff, but not much stuff since 95. And I totally understand that. And that's the problem with social media nowadays, is that you have so many people that are very, I feel like there at some point there was a separation generationally in terms of who watched what in terms of wrestling, because you got guys that watch AEW today that did watch WCW back in the day, but you've got guys that watch AEW that have never even heard of WCW, and I think that's part of the problem. And I can see from the perspective, Brian, of, like you said, that you've not really been a fan of today's stuff, and more so a fan of the territory days. I completely understand that. I can see why people aren't a fan of WWE. I can see why people aren't a fan of AEW or CZW or NWA, whatever. The point is, I respect everyone's opinion, and I feel like social media has gotten to a point where, well, if you don't agree with my opinion, and this obviously goes for more than wrestling, but if you don't agree with my opinion, then you can just shut your mouth. And it's ridiculous. Like, you should never have to explain your choices as to why you like a certain brand of wrestling or why you don't like a certain brand of wrestling. And it's gotten to a point where, like, I don't know, if, let's say you go to an indie show and, guys that you go to an indie show with, they're going to like the same thing as you. If you go to an AEW show, they're going to like the same thing as you because you're at the same show. The point is, as far as social media goes, if you're running into somebody that, doesn't agree with you, if you agree to disagree and it's still, I guess cordial, that's fine. And this is turning into a little bit more of a rant than I thought, so I apologize. But the point I'm getting to is just respect everyone else's opinion as far as wrestling goes, because it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Again, not since the territory days has there been so much, not just so much content, but so much access to the content. Because in the territory days, obviously, you didn't have the WWE Network, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have all these social media platforms that people post and repost videos from house shows and things like that. So just enjoy it, William, you're going to the Evolve show in Chicago next month. Evolve is another great up-and-coming brand. They've kind of partnered with WWE. If you've not had a chance to watch an Evolve show, do yourself a favor, take 2 hours and watch it. And I apologize in advance, guys. Like I said, these lights in our studio are motion activated, so I guess I need to be a little more animated and, I don't know, move a little bit more so these lights don't go off. But, Brian, I wholeheartedly agree. There's something for everyone. As far as Evolve, if you've not watched an Evolve show, do yourself a favor and watch it. Evolve is almost what I would call a pre-NXT version of NXT, if that makes any sense. Crowds are always into it, and that's another thing about wrestling shows is if you go to a wrestling show live, like William is next month, it's if the crowd is into it, that makes the experience so much better. And I think a lot of these guys that are on social media saying that, well, I don't like AEW or I don't like WWE or whatever, I'd venture to guess that a lot of those people that say they don't like a certain brand have never been to a live show of that brand. And I'm kind of preaching to myself in that regard because I've not been to a live WWE event since they've been WWE. The only live event I've been to WWE wise was when I was a kid, and it was WWF, and you had guys like Hogan and Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old at that point, and I barely remember bits and pieces of it. But I've been to an AEW show. I went to the AEW show in Champaign, Illinois, beginning of December. I'm actually going to Revolution this upcoming Saturday, and I'm looking forward to doing a recap of that on this upcoming Monday's show. I'll kind of touch on that on our show. Kelly Jim Mancini, SmackDown #1 show. NXT needs to move out of Full Sail. I can see the mentality there of moving out of Full Sail, but I think that goes back to the crowd being into it. My apologies, guys. I've been fighting a cold, and that's part of the reason why we didn't have a show last week. If they move out of Full Sail, I don't think you're going to have the hot crowds like they're used to. I think over time they're going to turn into, at least how it comes across on TV, the crowds aren't going to be as into it. If they move out of Full Sail and if they do an NXT tour, I mean, I hope they prove me wrong because I'd love to see NXT thrive and it be outside of Full Sail. Adam says, Matt Hardy made an amazing point. WWE, AEW, Impact, NWA, they're all amazing, has something for everybody now. Again, completely agree. There's a little something for everybody, old school fan, new school fan, in terms of wrestling content today. Hey, Vincent, how you doing, man? Brian says, I went to a WWE live event 2.5 years ago, so I'm willing to give a chance. Yeah, I mean, at least, if you're... Hold on just 1 second. My apologies, guys. Again, I was fighting a cold last week, and so still trying to get over it. This might be a shorter show today if I keep this up. But no, like Brian said, if you're not necessarily as much of a fan as you used to be, try going to a live event. Try going to a pay-per-view. Try going to a live TV event, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. And I think that's why I'm so on board with AEW so much is... Just 1 second. Again, guys, my apologies. I think that's why I'm so on board with AEW is because I've been to one of their shows live. It was a great show. Again, I'm going to Revolution this upcoming Saturday. I think it's going to be a fun event. I'm going to the Dynamite show here in St. Louis in April. But I'd love to check out a WWE show at some point. Ring of Honor is going to be here in the St. Louis area this upcoming Saturday as well. If I wasn't going to Revolution already, I'd probably be going to that. NXT has been here. WWE comes here frequently. But the point I'm making is, again, there's so much wrestling content out there, whether it be through various media, through TV or watching it on your computer, or if you go to it live, there's so much to choose from that there's no need to have to explain why you like it or why you don't like it. But if you don't like it, consider going to an event live and it might change your mind. So that's kind of my little rant spiel about, the current state of the business, I guess, so to speak. Again, this upcoming week, so Thursday, we're going to do a recap of Dynamite's Go Home show. I'm really looking forward to Dynamite this upcoming Wednesday. I look forward to NXT each week. It's just, with my schedule, it's really hard to be able to catch both. Any given week, I hope to catch both, but I'll be honest, most times it doesn't happen. We'll see how this week goes. But then the following Monday, again, we're going to recap Revolution for the most part. Like I said, I'll be there live. I'm actually going to be second row from the ring. Basically, I'm not sure what the terms are. I think it's so opposite of the hard camera side. You'll be able to see me second row from the ring on the left side of the ramp if you're facing the ring, if that makes sense. So basically, if you guys that watch WWE, if you know who Green Shirt Guy is, I'll actually be sitting right behind him if he's there. Look for me if you see me. Let me know. I also posted a fun little poll. I want you guys to pick out which of my wrestling shirts I wear so you can pick me out easier. This one I'm wearing today is probably going to be off limits. I'm probably going to wear this to our St. Louis show at Dynamite in April. But, yeah, just have a little fun. Pick out my attire for Revolution this Saturday, and we'll see. Vincent says, I hope you are going to bring your belt to the show. Absolutely. I'm taking my AEW belt to the show. Absolutely. I took it to Dynamite in Champaign in December. My shoulder was hurting the next day. I'm not going to lie, guys. I mean, the thing is like 12 or 13 pounds. Lugging that thing around for 4 hours, it was a task, but I'm glad I took it. I got a lot of compliments on it. I'm definitely taking that to Revolution this Saturday. I'm actually getting a couple of AEW tag belts made as well. I will be taking those to the Dynamite show in St. Louis in April. So, let's see. I got on a couple of tangents there. Oh, okay. So, yeah, Thursday we're going to recap Dynamite at a normal time, by the way. Our normal show times are Mondays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. normally, but we just had some weird scheduling stuff happen, and so starting this Thursday, we'll be back to our normal Monday, Thursday format at 9 a.m. So, I don't know. What else do you guys want to talk about? I've only been on for 20 minutes or so. I think it's a little early to be doing the shirt giveaway unless you guys want to do that. I did a quick video yesterday. I'll just kind of recap that real quick. We actually are close to 800 likes, and I appreciate you guys supporting the page, supporting the show. One thing I wanted to mention, and that I did during the video yesterday, if you have followed the page but not liked the page, that does not enter you into our giveaways. So if you've only followed it but not liked the page, make sure you actually like the page, if that makes sense. I also announced that we're going to do another belt giveaway once we hit 2,000 likes, and I want you guys to let me know suggestions of which belt you'd like for the winner to get at that point. So send me some suggestions, and yeah. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do our quick little advertisement read, and then I think we'll just do our T-shirt giveaway and just call it a day, because I don't think my voice is going to make it much longer.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
So you can check out the Going Broadway podcast with new shows every week on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts as well. You can check it out on a number of other platforms where you can access your podcasting as well. For those of you watching us live right now, each show is archived, and you can go back and watch any one of them on Facebook or via our YouTube channel as well. Go to goingbroadwaypodcast.com/YouTube and check us out there. Excuse me. Please also download our free app. It's called Yo Radio. It can be downloaded through the App Store or Google Play. Yo Radio is the most advanced user-driven streaming radio service on the market today. Everything you'd expect and more from the most full-featured platforms ever developed. Listen to an endless genre of music, podcasting, including our show via the Lineup channel, sports, news, and more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and always 100% free. Again, that's Yo Radio, available via the App Store, Google Play, or by visiting yoradio.com. You can also check out our podcast through our web host at lineupmedia.fm. John Smith says he loves going to NXT live shows. Yeah, again, if I get the opportunity, and it's not an excuse. I've had opportunities since they've been here in the area, but I'd love to check out an NXT show sometime. So, what else, guys? Is there anything else you guys want to chat about? If not, otherwise we can just do the T-shirt giveaway and call it a morning. Again, my apologies for the inconsistency with our, our scheduling, so to speak. Not to go into too many specifics, but so last week, I had a death in the family. My great-grandma of 95 years old, she passed away, so I was out of town dealing with that for a while, and then I also caught some kind of weird flu bug sickness thing, and I'm still getting over it. So, again, my apologies for no shows last week, and then obviously we're on a different day today. But again, starting this Thursday, we're going to be back to our normal Monday, Thursday at 9 a.m. day and time slot. So, that's another thing I was going to say, and we'll do the T-shirt drawing here shortly. So, if you are a winner of one of our giveaways, but you don't live in the United States, or at least if you don't live in the lower 48 states, any prize that you would win, you would have to cover the shipping. I'm only going to cover the shipping if it's within the lower 48 states. So Alaska, Hawaii, or anywhere else internationally, if you win one of the T-shirts or if you win the belt, it is at your discretion to somehow pay for the shipping, and we can work that out if you were to win. But I'll tell you what, I've got it here in the studio, so I want to show you guys this real quick. Just 1 second. All right, so some of you guys might have seen this already. And if you haven't, here it is. So, bumping into stuff here. So this is the belt that the winner of our 1,000 likes drawing giveaway will be receiving. This is the NWA National Heavyweight Championship belt, made famous by guys such as Dusty Rhodes and Tully Blanchard. I'm going to spin this around so you guys can see it. And this is ring accurate, by the way. It's got the NWA stamp on it. So help us get to that 1,000 likes mark, guys. We're at about 800, so we got a little ways to go. But share it with your friends. Tell you what, I'm just going to drape this over my shoulder just because I can. But no, seriously, guys, for the time being, this just sits in my office, and I can't wait to be able to give it away. So Brian and John want this. It's a fantastic belt. I mean, it's very well made. If you have any questions about the maker of this belt, feel free to private message me. There's just so much drama going on in the belt collecting world and community right now. I'm not going to name names on the air, but I'm happy to tell you privately. Thomas Henderson says, awesome belt. This is an awesome belt. So, again, help us get to that 1,000 likes mark, and we'll do the drawing to give that away. But for the time being, tell you what, let's go ahead and do our T-shirts giveaway. I'm going to bring this up on our screen real quick. So I'm going to do 2 drawings, and the winner will receive a T-shirt of their color choosing and their size choosing. So black, green, or white. We're not doing a hoodie giveaway. This is just for the T-shirts only. So you can pick between black, green, and white. Go back to my full cam here. And so, yeah, whoever wins, you have up to 24 hours from the time I contact you to let me know what your mailing address is. If I have not heard from you within 24 hours, we will do another drawing at some point tomorrow. So, I'll tell you what. I've been wanting an excuse to play this soundbite, so I'm going to.
Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
All right. Sorry, guys. I have this fun little soundboard over here, and so I look for excuses to play sound bites whenever I can. So, all right. So if you're on the stream right now, if you're just joining us, again, we're getting ready to do our T-shirt giveaway, and then we're going to wrap up our show for today. It's going to be a shorter show. Again, I've just been flying solo this morning. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to switch cameras here. You'll still be able to hear me, at least you should, if I do this right. So if I shut this camera off, all right, perfect. All right, so this is my randomizer right here. It just says Michelle in it right now because it was a pre-populated, just a pre-populated list. But I'll show you that, you guys, I've got all the names in here, so everyone's in here. At least the first 500 are in here. If you have liked our page but you were not one of the first 500. I apologize, you're not entered into this particular drawing, but you will be entered into when our here, I'll put this back on camera real quick. You'll be entered in to win this belt if you've liked the page, but you weren't one of the first 500. So we're going to do 2 of these drawings. Switch screens here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 10 clicks, and then whoever is on the 10th click gets a shirt. And we're going to do this 2 times. So here we go. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here, and this is the 10th click. Whoever's name pops up on this 10th click wins a free shirt. Number 10, Mark Hassey. Mark Hass. I apologize if I'm butchering your name, but you've won a free shirt. I will contact you privately. Like I said, you have 24 hours to tell me your size, tell me which color you want, and tell me your mailing address. Give us 2 to 3 weeks because these are made to order essentially. So we'll have to get this. We'll have to get it made. I will say this. Hold on, just 1 second. I do have a couple of our shirts in stock, quote unquote, at the moment. Like I have some in hand. I believe all of them are extra larges. So if you want a different size or a different color, it just kind of depends on what your size and what your color is. So I'm going to switch screens real quick. I want to see if anybody's commented or bear with me just a second. I'm just flipping back and forth between screens here. All right, here we go. Last giveaway here. So if you've just joined us, we're doing our second T-shirt giveaway. Mark Hass, I apologize if I'm butchering your name, has won our first shirt. I'll be contacting him privately. He has up to 24 hours to tell me his size and color preference and what his mailing address is. If he's not replied to me within 24 hours of me contacting him, I will be doing this again tomorrow. So we're going to do 10 more clicks, and then whoever's on the 10th click wins a shirt. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, next click is going to win. So the 10th click is going to go to Jay Pagliaro. So Mark Hass, I apologize, and Jay Pagliaro are our winners of the T-shirt giveaway. I'm going to switch cameras here. All right, so congratulations to you guys. I will be contacting you privately. You have up to 24 hours to let me know what your color and size preferences are and what your mailing address is. If I have not heard from you within 24 hours, I will do this again at least once tomorrow if I've not heard from one of them, if not both of them. So that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate you tuning in with me today. Again, it's a shorter show, but we'll be back to our normal format, so to speak, this upcoming Thursday. will be live at 9 a.m. Central Time. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me today, and I will see you guys on Thursday.
And so, goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang!
This podcast was a presentation of LightUpMedia.fm.